Hi guys, right, I just bought this. It is a Triumph Sprint ST955i. I just bought it from a bike dealer's down south and it's just been delivered literally minutes ago. And as you can see, it's a Street Fighter. It's been Street Fightered at some point, and it's a barn find. It hasn't run for a couple of years. Last MOT was about 2 years ago and it needs a bit of work, to say the least. It's hard to know where to start. I've had a little look around it just to see what's what, just to see what sort of state it's in. It's pretty rough. It's going to need tyres, chains, sprockets, all sorts of things. Headlights pretty faded, indicators are broken. Yeah, it's got a bit of rust on the forks, although they're not leaking, so that's good. There's no fork oil on the stanchions, which is something. The chassis doesn't look too bad. It's not too bad for corrosion. The engine doesn't look too bad. It's all covered in sort of dirt and cobwebs and stuff, so it's a bit rough. It's got this little end can on it. The back tyre's flat, which made it very difficult to push into the garage, but I managed it in the end. Yeah, it's got good bits and bad bits. The seat's not too bad condition. The tank is pretty awful. It's all kind of like, I don't know what's happened here. It's all kind of like flaked and damaged and stuff, so that'll probably need a respray. It's got Suzuki clocks. No idea whether they'll work or not. I've not started it yet. The guys that sold me it told me that it runs on a jumper pack, you know, with a jump start and a spray of Easy Start. They told me that it'll fire up, so the first thing I'll do is probably try that, but that'll be tomorrow's job or some point over the weekend. Yes, that's pretty much it really. It's a nice spec bike when it's sorted out. Single-sided swing arm, aluminium chassis, 955cc triple fuel injection. I think it's supposed to be about 110 brakes, something like that. It's got a Motobat battery in it, which is quite a nice quality battery, so somebody's put some sort of money and time into it at some point in the past. That was probably some years ago. I think it's had a new shock at some point as well. That shock looks relatively new compared to the rest of the bike. The swing arm is really flaky. The paint on the wheel's a bit flaky. It's probably going to need wheel bearings, chain sprockets, pads, calipers rebuilt, all that kind of stuff. Like a bunch of work, but that's fine. The brake fluid doesn't look too bad. I've not had the caps off or anything yet. The front brake works fine and doesn't actually feel too spongy. There's not an awful lot of travel in that. The clutch is very stiff and sticky, which could be the cable or could be the clutch itself, I don't know. It will pull. I can pull the clutch and I can hear the clutch actuating at the other end, so I know it's working. In fact, see, I can see it move at the other end, so I guess that's kind of working. Haven't tried the gears or anything. Guess it's in neutral at the moment because I just pushed it in from the van. Can't really try that until I kind of get things moving. That's it basically. It's my new bike, my new second-hand bike, my new project. Gonna have to throw a bit of money at it. Didn't pay very much for it. Kind of hundreds rather than thousands, as you'd expect for something like this. Got it delivered by SOS Motorcycles. They just dropped it off just a few minutes ago. So it's something to work on, and if I'm really lucky, maybe I'll have it sorted out before the end of the summer, but I suspect it might be more like next summer. Right, so I've now had the bike about 24 hours, and I've been at work today. When I got back from work, had my dinner and whatnot. I've been doing a bit of work on it. So yesterday I took out the battery, which is a Motobat AGM battery, which you can see over in the corner there, the yellow battery. I trickle charged that for a bit and I got it up to about 12.6 volts. And today I put it in the bike and I tried to start it, and the engine spins over on the starter button. So when I turn the key, like the bike comes on, you know, like the clocks do, the needles circulate and all that, you know. And then when I try and press the starter button, the engine will spin over, but it doesn't fire. I tried a bit of easy start in it, still doesn't fire. Okay, so started pulling it apart, and basically it's kind of like more of a barn find than I kind of realised, and the deeper I go into it, the more barn find it is. So I've taken the tank off. The tank has petrol in it. Not sure how old the petrol is, but the dealer that I bought it from said they had it started, so I'm guessing it's perhaps recent petrol. Anyhow, the tank and the seat unit are now off. I've taken the air filter out, and the air filter is it's dirty, but it's not horrendous. It's kind of okay condition. But I'm probably going to get a new one because it is that dirty, you know. I'll be getting a lot of other new parts as well. I managed to clean up the battery a bit. The battery was absolutely filthy, but I managed to scrub that up kind of with wipes. But it doesn't seem to be starting the bike, but I'm not sure if that's a battery issue. I think it's probably something else with the bike. The bike is like dirty beyond words. You probably can't really see. Hold on, I'll get a light, and we'll have a look. So it's very, very dirty down in here. It's been, I would say it's been sat for a while. Battery box and everything like that. It's pretty grotty. I gave it a bit of a wash yesterday night. Just a bit of a general kind of tidy up, brushed away some of the cobwebs and whatnot. Seeing this air box, this is the worst thing, right? It's like there's been a mouse nesting in there or something. It's full of kind of, I don't know what even that stuff is. It's like grains. It's like grains and I don't know what, like sultanas and mouse droppings or something. It's absolutely horrendous. And like the wiring loom, it's kind of going mouldy. These relays and stuff, they're kind of going mouldy. Full of cobwebs and spider skins and stuff. It's pretty nasty. Obviously I've got disposable nitrile gloves on for handling this because it's pretty bad. So I'm going to just dig down a bit more into it just now, get the airbox out, see if I can get the spark plugs out, and you know, just do a bit of general troubleshooting, try and figure out what's what. But it looks like I've got my work cut out for me anyway. Right, so it is now 3:30 on a Saturday afternoon. This morning I went into town and I bought all of the service fluids, engine oil, antifreeze, filter, spark plugs and other bits and pieces, all that kind of thing. Excuse me. Spent about 200 quid. So that puts me on a bit with the project, but the bad news is I wanted to get the spark plugs out and I can't get them out because the spark plug tool I bought from Halfords, which was the only place that had an 18mm spark plug tool at all, doesn't fit down these wells. The wells are too tight and the tool doesn't go in. I've tried, I've jiggled, I've pushed, I've tried everything. It doesn't go basically. So what I've had to do, I've gone on eBay and I've spent another sort of 7 or 8 quid on a pack of thin-walled spark plug sockets, which includes an 18mm one. So that should enable me to get the spark plugs out, hopefully. But it'll take a few days for them to come, obviously, so it'll probably be next weekend before I can get the spark plugs swapped over, which is disappointing because it also means that because I can't get the plugs out, I can't test the compression pressure, and I really wanted to do that because that'll tell me kind of what sort of state the engine's in. Until I can get the plugs out, I'm kind of stuck with that. So I've just been basically doing other bits and pieces. So I've drained the antifreeze. So this is the other bit of bad news. Went to drain the antifreeze out, drained it out, just pulled the bottom hose off there, drained it all out, but I discovered that it's pink antifreeze, and the Triumphs are supposed to have blue-green antifreeze. I think the pink is the OAT and the blue-green is like IAT. I can't remember what they stand for, something organic technology or something, I can't remember. Anyway, so somebody's put pink antifreeze in it, which they shouldn't have done. It's the wrong stuff for this bike. That's a wee bit annoying, because what it's meant I've had to do is kind of flush it to try and get all the pink out. So I've used basically about two 2-litre bottles, went and got an old cider bottle from indoors, filled it with water, ran it through, filled another one, ran that through, and it's, well, actually the first one I ran through, the second one I'm just letting sit in there overnight, the idea being that I want the water to sit for a while and just soak in, and then hopefully when I drain it tomorrow that'll get all the pink antifreeze out. It's really not ideal, but it's just what I'm having to do. So that's where I'm at with the antifreeze, and obviously the new antifreeze that I bought is like, I think it's Motul or something, I can't remember, or it might be Blue Coal, whatever it is. It's a blue-green antifreeze, so I've got the right stuff to go in. So then after I did that, put the hoses back on again, filled it with water as I said, and then I've changed the engine oil. So I've drained the engine oil, the sump plug is down there. That came out quite easily. I gave it a shot of liquid wrench to be on the safe side. Everything that I'm taking off this bike, I'm using a bit of liquid wrench to break it loose before I try and break it loose, because I'm reckoning that everything's going to be kind of seized up. But I'll tell you what, everything's come out pretty easily. I've not really had any difficulty getting anything broken loose, so that's quite encouraging. So that's just kind of the oil drained out now, and then I'm going to refill that. That's the sump plug there. I put it in my vise because the washer was kind of stuck on and I couldn't break it loose with just my fingers, so I just put it in the vise and tapped it loose with a screwdriver. So the sump plug itself is quite good condition, it's not rounded off or anything, it's quite nice shape. So I'll put a bit of grease on there, put it back in, and then fill it with the oil. I've got this oil, it's the Motul 5010 W40 semi-synthetic. That was 45 quid from a bike dealer in Livingston, and I got a high flow filter to go on as well, so I'm just away to change that. So that's kind of about as much as I can do at the moment. Kind of oil filter, coolant. Can't get the spark plugs out, so stuck with that. I think probably I'm also going to take some of the bits off, kind of just strip the whole bike down a bit more, maybe get the headlight off. I think I'm going to take the throttle bodies off at some point and give them a good clean, because they're just disgusting like the rest of the bike, and that'll enable me to clean the engine and that up a bit as well, and maybe clean the alternator, and just everything just needs a really good clean. There's just lots of cleaning to do. So that's kind of where I'm at with it so far. Right, some things to note about the Triumph 955 oil filter. Normally to remove an oil filter I would just use that, which is very easy and works very well. Okay, but there's a problem with that with these, because you can't get it in, you can't get the chain in between the oil filter and the engine casing, because it's too tight, there's not enough clearance and it just doesn't go. I wiggled with it and jiggled it and tried to force it and it just wasn't going, so I gave up, and what I did was I just whacked a screwdriver in with the hammer and just pushed it back a little bit, and that's kind of broken it loose, and I'm hoping I should be able to unscrew it just now.